Welcome to Thinkin' Bits, where tech meets business innovation.
Okay, so we're diving into AI and elections today, right? I mean, everyone was kind of worried about AI, like really messing with elections. And, it seems like 2024 is proving those worries right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like we're living in some kind of Black Mirror episode, isn't it?
Right. And it's not even like some far off future thing anymore. It's happening now. Like that Wired article, the one with the dead Indonesian president
Oh, yeah.
endorsing his successor through a deepfake. Can you believe that?
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not just a few weird stories here and there. The rest of the world, they have that AI election tracker, and it's showing this is a real trend,
Oh, really?
globally. Like AI-generated M&M endorsements in South Africa, AI chatbots actually writing speeches for politicians in Pakistan, who are in jail, by the way.
Wait, hold on. AI is writing political speeches now.
It is. It's wild, right? But see, that's the thing. Everyone's so focused on the U.S. election, but this stuff's happening everywhere.
So is that why it seems like other countries are, like, ahead of us on this?
Well, I don't know if it's ahead exactly. It's more like different countries are just dealing with AI and elections, well, differently.
Okay, yeah.
Different rules,
Yeah.
Some places are really strict. Others are like the Wild West. Then you've got social media, right? Big factor.
Makes sense.
In a lot of places, TikTok, WhatsApp, that is the news for people. So easy to spread misinformation.
Yeah.
And then you've got the whole cultural thing, like what flies in one country's election is like totally not okay in another, right?
Oh, that's a really good point.
So you put it all together. Not a lot of rules, social media is king, different ideas of what's okay. Suddenly, AI's got a field day with elections.
Wow. Okay, so maybe the U.S. isn't seeing AI M&Ms yet, but all this stuff matters to us too, right? Okay, so we know AI is shaking things up globally when it comes to elections. But what about here in the U.S.? Should we be freaking out, or are things, pretty chill?
Well, I wouldn't say chill exactly. I mean, a lot of those same factors are at play here too, even if they haven't blown up quite as much,
Right, because that Turing Institute study, the one we talked about, they didn't find any proof that AI has actually changed any U.S. election results yet.
True, but remember, that study was mostly about national elections, like in the UK and Europe. And our system here, with the Electoral College and swing states, it could be a different story, right?
Ah, okay. Then there's that other study, the one from George Washington University. That one's got everybody spooked because they're saying, like, hold on, the worst is yet to come. Like, AI attacks are going to get worse, especially closer to November.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? As we get closer to the election, it's like a pressure cooker. People are stressed, it's harder to figure out what's true, and boom, that's when AI manipulation could really do some damage.
Right. Like, remember that deepfake Biden robocall a while back? That was scary at first, but I don't know, it was so obviously fake, it became a joke.
Exactly, and that's often what happens with those really over-the-top deepfakes. They backfire. The real danger is the stuff you don't even notice. Like, imagine you're scrolling online and you see an image or a story that just subtly reinforces something you already believe.
Yeah.
You'd never suspect it was AI messing with your head.
Oh, wow. Like, playing on our biases without us even realizing it.
Exactly. And it's not just deepfakes. AI can be used for voter suppression, too. Imagine AI messing with voter rolls or spreading misinformation about where or when to vote. Scary stuff.
Okay, so it's not just about fake videos anymore. It's so much bigger. And this is where it gets really interesting, I think, for everybody listening, no matter what your political views are, because both Democrats and Republicans are seriously worried about AI being used against them. Like that Pew Research study we included, it shows that this concern is everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing deepfakes being used across the political spectrum, and it's usually to make people even more divided.
So it's like, even if your side wins by using AI, doesn't it kind of feel like we all lose in the end? Like we lose trust in the whole system. And isn't that like the core of what we're talking about here? Okay, so we've talked a lot about what AI is already doing in election, the deep fakes, all the ways things could go wrong. But it feels like we have to talk about like what should be happening, right? Like what are the ethics of all this? AI isn't just changing elections, it's changing how we get information, period.
100%.
Yeah.
And honestly, the ethics around all this, it's changing so fast, it's hard to keep up. Like that Pew article you shared, the one about AI doing creative stuff, really got me thinking, should we let AI, like, imitate artists, write movies, even copy, like, dead authors? Where's the line?
Right. Like, imagine a new Stephen King novel comes out, but it turns out an AI wrote the whole thing. I mean, would it even feel the same? Would it feel, I don't know, less special somehow? Part of me's curious what an AI could do, but it's also kind of unsettling.
I think that unsettled feeling, that's important.
Mm-hmm.
Because it makes you think about, like, what makes us human, right? Our creativity.
Mm-hmm.
And when machines can do that too, we have to figure out what it even means to be an artist, to be original.
And it's not just art either. That article talked about AI writing news stories too. Like, imagine opening your newsfeed and you can't tell what's written by a real person and what's from a bot.
Talk about information overload. It'd be almost impossible to know what to trust.
Right. So what do we do? How do we deal with this whole thing?
Well, that takes us to the big debate. AI regulation.
Yeah.
Like all those sources you shared, they show how divided people are. Some are like, leave it alone. Let the market decide.
Yeah.
Survival of fittest, AI edition.
Yeah.
Others are like, nope, the government needs to step in, especially for elections and stuff.
Yeah.
Finding that balance,
Yeah.
that's the million-dollar question, right?
Feels like we're at a turning point with all this, doesn't it?
Totally. And the stakes are huge. Because if we just, do nothing, if AI content gets so good we can't tell what's real.
And we're stuck with that liar's dividend thing, right?
Exactly. Doesn't even matter if we could spot the AI if everyone just assumes everything's fake anyway.
Wow. That's like next level cynicism.
Right. And that's not just bad for elections, that's bad for, how we function as a society.
So where does this leave all of you listening? AI is here, right? It's not going away. But here's the thing. As you're online, seeing all this stuff, the ads, the news, whatever, just remember to stop and think for a second. Who made this? What's the source? Why are they showing me this? Because in the age of AI, thinking critically, it's not just a good idea, it's how we all stay informed.